Workplace violence is a growing concern in occupational health and safety, affecting employees' well being, productivity, and organizational stability. It can range from verbal abuse to physical assault and even homicide. Understanding workplace violence, identifying its causes, and implementing preventive measures are essential for ensuring a safe work environment. Meaning and types of violence at work. What is workplace violence? Workplace violence is any form of threat, abuse, or physical assault that um, occurs at the workplace or as a direct result of work related duties. It can have serious physical, psychological, and financial consequences for employees and organizations. Key definitions: World Health Organization 2002 defines violence as the intentional use of physical force or power against oneself, another person, or a group that results in injury, death, psychological harm, or deprivation. 2. Health and Safety Executive defines workplace violence as any incident in which an employee is abused, threatened, or assaulted in circumstances relating to their work. 3. National Institute of Occupational Safety and Health describes workplace violence as violent acts, including physical assault and threat of assault, directed towards persons at work or on duty. Types of workplace violence. Workplace violence is broadly classified into 1. Internal violence occurs between workers. Example, colleagues, managers, supervisors. Example, bullying and harassment, verbal or physical. Workplace mobbing, group harassment, disputes between employees. 2. External violence involves workers and outsiders, such as customers, clients, or strangers. Example, robbery or assault by intruders. Violence from patients or customers, common in healthcare and service industries. Terrorist threats or security breaches. Forms of workplace violence. Violence in the workplace can take many forms, including physical assault, hitting, pushing, stabbing, shooting, threat and intimidation, verbal threats, threatening gestures, harassment, racial, sexual, or discriminatory abuse, bullying, persistent mistreatment of employees, robbery and theft, attack by criminals, mobbing, group based harassment, battering, domestic violence at the workplace, aggressive posturing, intimidation through body language. Risk factors, causes and effects of workplace violence. Who is at risk of workplace violence? Certain professions and situations increase the likelihood of workplace violence. Workers at high risk include employees working alone, example, taxi drivers, night security guards, authority figures, example, police officers, traffic wardens, healthcare workers, example, nurses, emergency unit staff, psychiatric hospital employees. Workers handling cash and valuables. Example, bank tellers, fuel station attendants. Customer service personnel. Example, teachers, restaurant workers, transport operators. Causes of workplace violence. Workplace violence can be caused by individual, organization, and societal factors. 1. Individual factors. History of violence, previous violent behavior, feelings of grievance, unfair treatment at work, frustration, work stress, dissatisfaction, alcohol or drug abuse, it impairs judgment, mental health issues, paranoia, extreme anger, personality traits, short temper, aggressive behavior. 2. Organizational factors, poor working conditions, overcrowding, lack of ventilation, stressful work environment, high pressure jobs, lack of job security, poor management style, authoritarian leadership, lack of communication, discrimination, racial or gender inequality, favoritism. 3. Societal factors, violent culture, prevalence of violence in society, economic instability, high unemployment rate, financial stress, political instability, riots, civil unrest affecting businesses. Effects of workplace violence. 1. Physical and psychological effects on victims. Physical injuries, bruises, fractures, death, emotional distress, anxiety, depression, PTSD, loss of self confidence, feeling unsafe at work, increased absenteeism, avoidance due to fear. 2. Effects on organizations. lower employee morale, fear of workplace violence, difficulty in recruiting and retaining staff, high turnover, increased stress among employees, reduced productivity and efficiency, legal and financial costs, lawsuits, compensation claims. Managing workplace violence, three levels of prevention. According to Chappell and D. Martino 2006, workplace violence can be managed through 1. Primary prevention before violence occurs. Develop workplace violence policies, clear rules against violence, implement strict hiring policies, pre-employment screening, training and awareness programs, educate employees on conflict resolution, improve security measures, CCTV cameras, alarm systems, enhance workplace design, good lighting, escape routes, protective barriers. 2. Secondary prevention during an incident, emergency response plan, quick medical response for injured employees, crisis intervention teams, train staff to handle violent situations, immediate de escalation techniques, calming down aggressive individuals. 3. Tertiary prevention after violence occurs, counseling and rehabilitation for victims and witnesses, legal actions against offenders, disciplinary measures, improving workplace safety policies, reviewing and updating strategies. General strategies for controlling workplace violence. Implement security measures, surveillance cameras, security guards, establish clear communication systems, emergency hotlines, reporting structures, encourage conflict resolution training, mediation techniques, ensure proper job design, minimize stressful work conditions, provide safe transport for employees, especially night workers, encourage teamwork and support systems, building a positive workplace culture. Workplace violence possesses serious risk in both employees and organizations. By understanding the causes, identifying high risk workers, and implementing preventive strategies, businesses can create a safe and healthy working environment. It is essential for employers, employees, and policymakers to collaborate in reducing workplace violence and ensure a zero tolerance approach to violent behavior.